Here's a question from Sandy. Hi, Kenneth. I wrote a while ago, but need a quick fix. I'm redoing a boy's bedroom. The room is 10 feet by 11 feet. He is 15 years old. He has black furniture. The bedding is slate gray, black and silver, very modern, white trim, 2-inch wood blinds, white crown, walnut floors. He wants a very dark ceiling color. I have picked for the walls network gray. What color would look good on the ceiling? The area rug we picked out is 2 inches long, twisted shag. Should I keep the rug a light color? I know this sounds extreme, but I'm sure he will change his mind before the paint dries. He's a teen. We've seen the look at Abercrombie & Fitch store we both love. Please help ASAP. If you could email me back, I would be so grateful. We're having a wedding this summer. We're trying to get everything done. Waiting with paintbrush in hand. Thanks, Sandy. Sandy, you know what I would do? I would consider doing the walls the ceiling, the same color as the walls, but cut in half. And what I mean by that is taking the gray, the network gray, mixing a half of network gray with a half of white, stirring it up, and using that as your walls, as your ceiling. I think that's your best bet, so it sort of grades itself. So the ceiling is always a little bit lighter, but still it's dark. I think that's your best bet. If that's too complicated, go one color lighter on the paint chip chart that network gray is. If you want to get really crazy and have a lot of fun, do something really fun on the ceiling. It sounds like you're going for a very mod, cool, hip look. So maybe you might want to paint stripes on the ceiling. It can be really interesting. Or you can paint concentric squares. I don't know if that's the right word. I'm not a very big geometry person, but basically outline the ceiling in a dark color, then come in and do a lighter color, and then alternate. So it kind of really gives it a really interesting look to the ceiling. As far as the shag is concerned, you want to know, yes, the rug, I think a light color is a good idea for the rug. Because if you do dark, you're going to lose a lot of the effect, and because you already have a lot of white in the room, it'll tie into the light color of the crown. Hopefully this gets to you before your wedding. Joyce, I have an odd-shaped living room. I have a bay window to the far right, to the far left is a fireplace. The biggest wall has a flat screen and a dark wood entertainment, and the rest is open. There is very little space to put a sofa and 2 chairs. If I put a sofa by the bay window, you can't see the TV. Can you tell me what to do to give the room balance? Joyce, you need to float your furniture in the room. Most people feel like all that furniture always has to be against a wall or a window, and that's not the case. What you need to do is decide what your focal point is. If your focal point is the TV, then your biggest piece of furniture should be directly across from it, and that would be your sofa. That tells you where to put your sofa. If there's, something behind it that you need to get to, float the sofa in front of it, and then place your chairs according to that. If your focal point's the fireplace, then the biggest piece of furniture, which is your sofa, should be across from the fireplace, and you put your chairs according to that. You don't want to put all your furniture up against the walls. Let it float in the middle of the room. And that should give you balance. Roshan. Hi, Kenneth. Love watching your show. Since then, I have learned how to use color patterns. I would like to know how to color in small rooms, like bedrooms. What do you recommend? Thank you. Use color patterns. I'd like to know how to color in small rooms, like the bedrooms. You know what? Bedrooms are a great chance for you to define a certain look. And what I mean by that is, living rooms, dining rooms, foyers, hallways, kitchens are very public space. So they tend to need to sort of work together in their color palette because they tend to be used together. A bedroom is usually off the beaten path, not around those rooms, and you just enter it through one door. So when you step into that door, you're allowed to do something different and exciting. Now, I'm not saying that each room should look like a circus and be totally different colors, but I do think that it's a chance for you to step outside of your box. So I would suggest you trying a few different color options. If you want to go for a very relaxed, calming room, think about blues for the bedroom. If you want to go for that more spa, relaxed room, you can think about using pinks and corals and yellows. If you want to go for very dramatic, sexy rooms, paint the rooms a deep red ruby. So I think that you understand how to use color pattern. I think from this you'll understand how the wall color can set the tone and style of a room, and then you can build around that. William. We have one more or no? Yes, one more. Okay. William. Hi, Kenneth. I really like your work. I want to replace the wood floor in my Manhattan apartment, which has concrete floors. Shall I use solid wood or engineered wood? Thank you very much, William. All right. Here's the trick. Solid wood is great and beautiful, and I love it. It's going to be a little bit more expensive than engineered wood. The one thing I think is great with engineered wood, especially in older places where you have concrete floors, is they can usually do a direct glue down to your concrete floor, which saves you from having to do a subfloor of plywood. Another thing that's great about engineered wood is it's smaller in profile, so you don't have to cut all your doors down to fit the new wood height. A lot of times you put in the solid wood, which is really great, and I love it, it's beautiful quality. You end up having to also cut down all your doors and end up with uneven areas between that and your tile bathrooms. So I say that in your case, because it's an apartment that has a concrete floor, engineered wood's the way to go for you. And get it pre-finished so you don't have to deal with the mess and the smell in your apartment. They can do it off-site. That's my ideas.